I want to pose a challenge to start to look at the pain and distress we feel in romantic relationship as not caused by our partner, but something that we experience as a result of the choices that they make. I want to demystify that in this video. Welcome back to Loving Honestly. My name is GC, and Loving Honestly is a place for every woman with a deep need to reclaim your love story in the way that feels right for you. Now, we experience pain and hurt in relationships. We always will, it will always be there. It just depends on the two people who are together. His characteristics, my characteristics, how much we know each other, the culture in which we've grown up in, and the story I create around the kind of relationship I want to have. Now, say you are a married couple, for married couples out there, and you've been married in the Christian church. There are certain tenets that you live by. You have your legally binding marriage, but you also have the things that we know are part of the 10 Commandments. The thou shalt not commit adultery. The I will love you when you are sick, when you are unwell, when you are at your lowest, when you are rich, when you are poor. I will take care of you, irregardless, and we shall only be parted through death. So when you are married with those kind of covenants, that is the cultural aspect as well. What does your family say? What is the story you've always told yourself around marriage and the things that make or break it? And what is your personal blueprint around those things? What are the things you know for sure if he does, you will bolt out the door? Or the things you know that if he does, well, perhaps we can work around it and see how to continue our relationship. Those are the things that give you the framework around how to deal with these stressful situations. For example, if we use the case of infidelity, your partner has gone out there and he's cheated on you and you have found out. How then do you navigate around the pain, distress, and decision making around what that will look like for your future? Because no one plans for these things. These things creep up on you, either contextually something would have happened in your relationship, or maybe you just have the kind of person who is philandering and you know and turn a blind eye, or it just creeps up on you and you don't know what to do. In those situations, when I am talking about changing the way we experience hurt, I'm talking about being radical and removing blame and stop saying, you are causing me hurt, you are causing me pain. But take ownership of the fact that I am experiencing the pain so that you can actually set the pain aside and look at the context in which you're dealing with. Because I will tell you for free, we will all go through some pain, some distress, some wrongdoing or another. And I'm not saying that when people do those things, they are not wrong. They are making choices that are wrong. And they are putting themselves out there to do those things. They are fully capable human beings, and we need to appreciate that someone can make that choice. Someone you love, someone you thought would always be there for you, someone who thought would never cheat on you, can do that to you. But if they do that to you, what next? Of course, you're going to go into the doldrums for a while, because we're not going to lie, it does hurt. It does hurt. And he participated in something that went against the relationship, went against the covenant that we said and made the pact we made towards each other. He shattered the way I see my relationship. Absolutely. And I think those are the first moments, and I can understand blaming him and hating what he has done. Even getting to a place where you might feel you hate him, wanting to attack him, wanting to attack everything that has come in to destroy your relationship. I get that. But my challenge is to say, let us put the package that has come into our lives here on the table. If he wants to continue the relationship with you, and if you want to continue the relationship, this is after you've figured out whether this is a deal breaker for you or not. If you're still in that place where you say, I'm still feeling distress and I'm still feeling pain, but I do want to continue with this relationship, perhaps you need to set aside, put this thing on a plate and say, this is where I'm putting it on this table. You sit here, I sit here. As much as we are joined together as a partnership, as a committed partnership, I want you to take ownership of what you have done. Take ownership of the choice you made in this relationship. And taking ownership on his part, if he has done that to you, Taking ownership on his part is the first step for you to start to separate yourself and say, the experience you went out and did is what is causing me pain. It is good when he can own it and say, yes, I'm the one who did it, and I'm the one who has hurt you, and I'm the one who has done what I've done. That is one of the most freeing things, when you can sit there and say that. Because what you do not want to do is to drown in sorrow, to drown in this thing that has come into your life and has swooped in, and you don't know what to do. It's keeping you stuck, and it's keeping you in a shaky place. What you want to do is to say, fine, I am still standing, and I feel pain, and I feel humiliated. I feel a sense of, a loss of some self-worth, perhaps self-esteem has been bruised. My self-confidence has been taken away. People know what is happening in my home, and I am embarrassed. That's fine. Take that as your experience of what has happened. Take that as your experience of what he has done. And when you can say that and say, you sit there and explain to me, and if he is willing to do that, then let him. Get the answers that you need so that you can move on, because we all experience it in different ways. Some people want to hear all the nitty-gritties, and some people just want to know that he has acknowledged that I have done wrong. And when you can say that, then you say, this thing that you have put on the table, we are putting it on the table. You are a person, I am a person, but this thing, this infidelity, this thing that we are sitting around and working around is separate to us. I know that is a bit extreme, and I understand, especially if you are experiencing that or have experienced that. It is not easy to separate yourself from those things and say, or even especially separate him from what he has done, because now he somewhat is joined with that other party. And it's hard. But in a situation where the relationship can keep moving and you have both decided that you want to make it work, place it in a table, place it somewhere where you can look at it and deconstruct it in a manner that is resourceful to you. Not in a manner where you can keep ruminating over it and complaining over it, because it takes control of you. Deconstruct it in a manner that allows you to take action from it and fix it. And fix the pain that has been caused by it, because you can't fix that. It's done. It is done, it is done, it is done. Take any other situation as well. You are now in a state where maybe your living conditions have changed. He has lost your trust in some way. He is no longer participating in family life with you. Take that and deconstruct it. Put it on the table and say, what does this mean to you? And start to understand it from that perspective. And take your hurt and painful experience and place them on the table, and let him be able to say, oh wow, I never thought it would do this to you. It's just taking the same experiences that have been there, since time immemorial, but looking at them in ways that do not become a part of you and a part of your partner. It is just deconstructing them and saying, fine, this unfortunate incident has happened. Now what we're going to do about it? I am experiencing pain. Yes, perhaps you caused it, but I want to acknowledge my own pain and deconstruct the context in which this has happened, because there's always a reason behind everything. People don't just make silly choices. Even if it was a drunken night, there was a reason around the excess that happened that night. Deconstruct it and take control of your part of recovering, of going through the pain, and of challenging the status around why this is so. And when you can do that, you can start to actually see beyond and see the reasons why, and see his mindset, and start to actually work together, because those things separate people. So you want to get to a place where you separate it out together, and then start to walk on a new path where you say, I experience, and you must give me reverence and respect around my experience, around what you have done. But I will no longer attack and blame. I just want to deconstruct and know how we can move forward and live a better life. I hope this video helped to really just try and understand a different perspective on looking at pain and distress. Please share your comments. I know it's one of those topics where we all have a different way of looking at things, but I would really like to know whether this has helped you, whether you think a different way, because I like to navigate around relationship issues in different ways that are freeing to the spirit, that give you the perspective you need to be able to love your partner and love yourself, especially in the way that feels right for you. I post every Wednesday, so if you'd like to get notifications on when I do, please press the subscribe button. Take care.